Is anyone receiving this? We've lost contact. Warning.
In 2015, a small independent production filmed in the heart of Connecticut dared to imagine what it would be like if the Star Wars galaxy came to Earth, or more specifically, to a quiet backyard in Waterbury. Star Wars Homefront, The Empire Tries Again, written, directed, and starring Jason Wiegand, is a fan film that has since gained a cult following for its grassroots charm, heartfelt storytelling, and surprising emotional depth. Now, 10 years later, we revisit the journey of this one-of-a-kind fan film, how it was made, how it connected with audiences, and how it changed the lives of those involved.
Homefront was actually a sequel of a short little thing that I did called Snow Day. Really didn't expect it to go anywhere. It was just a fun little thing I did. It starred me and only me. Did it in about a day, but the impact it seemed to have on the audience, I wound up getting requests from people to do a sequel.
That movie's awesome! Make another movie! But make it an hour long, or two.
It was great. When's the next one?
Snow Day? It was better than Cats. I'm gonna watch it again and again.
Thought about it. Came up with Homefront.
Set on a near-Earth in the Star Wars universe, the story opens on the bridge of an orbiting Star Destroyer with Darth Vader and the commander of the ship, played by Frank Forzano, who added authenticity and legitimacy to the role.
I wanted the role of the Imperial Commander to have some weight. I immediately thought of Frank, and Frank was up for it. And, he killed it. Frank has actually become a name in indie production circles since then. And it's kind of nice to say that we had him way back when.
I remember when I got the call. I was excited and nervous at the same time because I had always wanted to act, but I never really thought about it. So this is really a time to do it, and I really liked when I came here and I saw the green screen and the setup. It was amazing. So as I played the commander, I'm thinking back to, the regular Star Wars movies that I've seen. How does one play a commander, being afraid of Darth Vader and such, without overacting? So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the part. And it was really a lot of fun. It was a learning experience. I've done a lot of acting since then. And it all started right there.
Meanwhile, down on Earth, a humble gathering is taking form, a backyard party hosted by Jason. The grill is hot, the drinks are cold, and the guests are anything but ordinary. The party scene, which some now lovingly refer to as the BBQ before the battle, features a surprising cast of characters. They socialize and play yard games with no clue as to what horror is approaching. Robin Rose delivered a fan-favorite performance as both the regal Mon Mothma and the fun-loving Twi'lek guest. Her dual performance, filmed over half a day, adds an unexpected theatrical flair.
I was thrilled when Jason invited me to act in Homefront, and the opportunity to do two characters was a pure joy. When I was Mon Mothma, who doesn't love donning a Justin Bieber wig? holding the potato salad. That was a lot of potato salad. And becoming a Twi'lek, just the process of being spray painted blue and wearing the horns, which I can never remember the name of, but what the neighbors thought. Jason never thinks of what the neighbors think when he is creating. And of course we had to do it outside. So yes, here I am wearing a towel outside, sitting on a bar stool as Jason spray painted me blue.
As the festivities unfold, old friends reunite. Jedi Knight Chris Canito, played with gravitas by Chris White, returns from the Outer Rim just in time for trouble.
So basically, Jay asked me to do this, and I was down to do anything in the movie. I didn't expect to have such an impactful part, or big part. So that was a little bit flattering. It was a lot of fun. A little bit more work than we thought it was going to be.
The Empire has arrived. The Imperial attack sequence was a feat of indie filmmaking, using a mix of green screen, practical effects, and CGI crafted in a Waterbury basement.
That was a lot of fun, the attack on the picnic. We shot that pretty much on the fly. You know, I had done a call for anybody who could show on location for that, and we pretty much planned it around whoever showed up. You know, we needed me, we needed Chris Canito, we needed Robin. But everyone else was, whoever showed up is what we worked with. And it worked out pretty well. I mean, it's the only time in the whole film that many cast members are in one place. Most of the film was done all green screen, and a lot of the cast members never saw each other. But in this case, everyone who showed up had something to do. There were no spectators, either on or off camera. If they were there on set, they were doing something. It was a lot of fun.
So using the lightsaber was pretty intuitive. It felt like using a sword as long as it had that wooden handle on it, or the wooden extension on it. It just got awkward not having that on there. And the scene where we run outside and I had to pull it out and turn it on, it just felt awkward.
The battle leaves Jason's party and property in ruins, and his guest dead. Consumed with rage and frustration, Jason flies out into space to confront those who have wronged him.
The choice of an A-Wing for Jason was, it was a no-brainer. It was the only ship that would fit in his garage.
Above Earth, Jason encounters an X-Wing squadron, led by Andy Pacelli's Red Leader, clashes with swarming TIE fighters in a desperate skirmish against the Empire. The choreography, energy, and VFX here recall classic Star Wars space battles with an indie twist.
Andy's the only person in this production who played one role. Everyone else played multiple roles. Andy came down from New Hampshire, sat, read for Red Leader, and played nothing but Red Leader. And he nailed it.
Yeah, so with the green screen, it was just weird, just like sitting on a box in the middle of the room in the middle of nowhere with no background and just acting to nothing and having it come out as a fighting scene.
X-Wing Fighter Red 2, I remember that, sitting on a box in a room around the green screens, and I had to pretend to see my buddy get blown into millions of pieces while I'm dodging these TIE fighters. And a lot of imagination had to go in there. Like, we lost 8, and then he had to correct me. I had to be more emotional, channel my inner William Shatner. And even then I didn't do it right. But that was an amazing experience too.
Jason infiltrates the Star Destroyer. Armed and determined, he cuts through squadrons of stormtroopers. Meanwhile, deep within the battlecruiser, Jedi Knight Chris Canito engages Darth Vader himself.
The lightsaber duel was filmed in Milford, Connecticut, with Chris LaCava choreographing in his studio. Without him, I don't think that scene would have been what it was. As a matter of fact, without that opportunity that was afforded by Chris and the use of his location, that scene probably never would have made it into the movie, and it would have probably gone in a different direction.
Okay. So the lightsaber combat was all choreographed by Chris LaCava down in his studio. I don't think we could have done it without him. That was a lot of work. We did it all in one day, learn the moves, film it, all against a green screen. And yeah, that was an interesting day.
I had this idea to have Vader force push Chris, where he would hit the floor and slide away. Of course, the sliding part we had to do with digital effects in post, but Chris still had to hit the floor. You know, luckily we were on location in a karate studio where we were filming this, and, you know, the floors were padded. But, you know, I remember asking Chris, can you take a fall? Being the trooper that he is, you know, he said of course he could. And then I proceeded to make him take that fall at least 4 or 5 times.
Jason had scripted in this one scene where I get a force push from Darth Vader and I wind up on my ass. So I am on Chris. I do this, and it's on a nice padded floor in Chris's dojo, and but then I have to do it again, and then again, and then again, and I think we did it like 6 or 7 times, and I didn't think too much of it at the time, but later that night, I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone just before bed, and I was like, God, I think I'm getting sick. My body just aches everywhere, and she goes, well, you did hit that mat like 100 times really hard, and that's when I realized, wow, it really did affect me. So that was fun.
Just as the duel reaches its apex, Jason bursts into the room, breaking all tension by doing the unexpected. The confrontation wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Jason confronts Darth Vader not just with a blaster, but with frustration, sarcasm, and raw humanity. Produced by Jason Wiegand Media Works and Awesome Productions, the film didn't just entertain, it united a community.
Regrets? That 40-minute runtime. People don't like to see that when they're browsing YouTube, and they see that 40 minutes and move right on to the next video. Really, the film's only 20 minutes long, but I decided to put all of the bloopers in with the credits, and that doubled the runtime. Yeah.
With a lightsaber in one hand and a hot dog in the other, Homefront, The Empire Tries Again reminded audiences that heroes can come from anywhere, even Waterbury.
Homefront was an itch that needed to be scratched. It's the first time that I had gotten people, my friends, together to do one of these projects with me. And it was a lot of fun.
I remember when I was finished with it, it was so exciting, just couldn't wait to see it again, and I couldn't wait to be in any sequels he was going to do. Maybe I got the acting bug then, I don't know, I think I've always had it, but it's something that I really think about now when I do other acting. Matter of fact, I've recently been in a Battlestar Galactica fan film. But this film, the Star Wars film, was fantastic. Great experience, and I hope he's going to do some more.
10 years have gone by since shooting the original Homefront, and I look back on the process and I'm so happy I was part of it, and I look very forward to becoming hopefully part of the next project that he thinks up.
To be part of such an epic film, the whole wacky crazy idea and just following my friend and doing what he wanted to do and just having a whole bunch of freaking fun with it. Did I ever think I would be part of a Star Wars fan film? Yes, when I was 10.
In a galaxy that's never too far away, sometimes the most powerful battles are fought at home,